There are many, many ways to start a song, and we've covered some of those ways in previous videos. But today, we want to look at a very specific way of starting a song, and that is through the use of loops as the inspiration for a new song idea. And we're going to demonstrate it by creating a brand new song on the fly, from scratch.
Song hasn't been written yet. I don't know what's going to happen.
None of us know.
None of us know. We'll all find out. The other thing is that we have a starting prompt. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we're going to bring a lyrical prompt into the equation, and we're going to start with a phrase. And the phrase is, "for the love of strangers." That's going to be the prompt. Now, the great thing about just a little lyrical line like that is we don't know what it means. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a phrase that I heard, and I thought, well, that sounds lovely. I have no idea how we're going to use it, but we're hoping that by introducing it to some of the loops and letting them bounce off each other, we're going to get a story or a narrative that evolves, and the music's going to evolve, and it's going to happen in this really creative, fun way. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. There is no net. You know, as with all songwriting, there is no net.
It's actually a really common practice for songwriters and producers to actually do this, to sort of open up a loop library, draw something in. And a lot of these subscription services are exciting because there's new sounds being added all the time. The one that we're using today is a loop library called Chromatic, and it's actually kind of a combination of an instrument that you open up in a DAW, but it's also a library that you access, and there's constantly new sounds and interesting things happening.
So we have Landr Chromatic already loaded into an instrument channel because it does load in as an instrument, essentially. And so if we just bring that up, we'll show you the interface.
You can pick from moods or sets, and each of these things here is kind of like a whole package or a whole little library. And I had picked pawn shop finds just because it's like cute.
So you can hear what's happening there. I'm holding down the keys and it's triggering this loop that's running around. And the interesting thing about the way Landr have structured Chromatic is that the white keys are triggering the loop. The black keys are triggering the effects.
It's really cool. Ooh, that's reverse.
That was kind of fun, glitchy something. You've also got these great little, you've got a filter, you've got a lo-fi, that's cool.
Yeah.
You've got reverb that you can bring into play, so.
Oh, yeah.
So lots of just basic tweaking that you can do to mess with the sound.
All right.
Let's try something else.
Try a new instrument. So this one is under Chill Vibes.
For the love, for the love, for the love, stranger. I think the great thing about a little melodic loop like that is having it again as a little spark and then seeing where we can take it. So
we could make it slower.
we could make it slow.
So let me just take the BPM in Logic down to,
Okay.
I don't know, 104.
Yeah. Feels like slowing it down gave us something. Feels like slowing it down gave us that kind of, I don't know. Gave us a little swagger. Come on. Now I'd be like, Slime the Family Stone.
I feel like we've got a little cool little vibe going there. And even lyrically, like getting towards a target idea of like, why do I do it? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Well, I do it for the this, I do it for that. And then finally, like I do it for the love of strangers.
Ah, yeah, nice.
One thing I'll say at this moment that I think is really important is we are completely just playing with sound.
Yeah.
And that's really fun. And you could see us before actually go, all right, well, from these like playing with sounds, how are we going to turn this into a song? Well, the first thing we figured out was what key is that loop in?
Yeah.
Okay, it's in F sharp.
Yeah.
F sharp what? Is it F sharp minor? Is it F sharp major? Is it F sharp what? But it has a flat 7 in it, which means it, you know, whatever F sharp key we're in, it has to include that flat 7.
If I hear that loop, I go, you know, that for me is like a bluesy, funky kind of thing.
Yeah.
It feels like Mixolydian. It feels like it wants to be Mixolydian.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to play
Yeah.
a funky blues thing. So that's where we kind of went with it.
Yeah.
We could go back if we didn't like where this was going and try Dorian or try something else.
Yeah.
But, you know, trusting your instincts is kind of, it's a good thing. It's fun.
And actually, like, starting to, like I was saying before, limit your choices is actually the way to drive a song forward. And again, we're kind of working in a pretty open space right now, being very playful, finding sounds, experimenting, just seeing what sounds good.
Yeah.
But pretty soon, not yet I'd say, but pretty soon, we're going to start down a path of saying, all right, of all these sounds, how do we actually put these into song sections? And then we'll actually start thinking about the lyrics. But all of that's to come. We're not even there yet.
And from a songwriting point of view, it's also great that we're not stuck in the computer.
Yeah.
We're basically using a loop to trigger an idea. The idea then went onto guitar. Kep's got pen and paper.
I'm actually
outlined
working
down
on
this,
lyric ideas.
you know,
right? Yeah.
and so I feel this still feels very organic to
Yeah.
me. I don't feel great when I'm just stuck in the computer
Yes.
stacking loops. This still feels
Yeah, that doesn't
real.
work for me.
No.
Really. Yeah, that's nice.
And then how do we want to finish that little cycle?
Well, we could even get another little hook bit.
So we're going D sharp minor 7, E major 7, F sharp major, not dominant. And are you delaying off the 1? You're going 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we do.
Yeah.
A stranger.
Yeah.
Talk about that. You're staying on that chord. Yeah.
Ooh.
Isn't it funny how now that sounds really straight?
Yeah.
We've
swung it.
We've swung it so hard. So we still haven't really moved on lyrically too much. We're still just trying to get this melodic combo, like chords and melody together is really where we're at.
Yeah.
Why does it feel like we're trying to get
The melody together first.
yeah before we go lyrics?
I think it's because we were playing with these F sharp chords, and then when we found the like pre-chorus chords, it's like the pre-chorus then led really meaningfully towards this thing that felt like a hook. Da, 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 ah. And so we're like forming the hook first and then kind of working backwards from that.
It's funny how instinctively we haven't really talked about it, but it just feels like the lyrics will come.
The lyrics will
The
come.
lyrics will
Yeah.
come. We're just trying to get the music part right.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we're working with this lyrical hook, right, for the love of strangers.
Yeah.
And it's some songs start at the end. You know, some songs start with the punchline or like that anchor. You know, to me, I think of it as the target. It's like I know what the target is, and if I know what the target is, I'm going to be able to reverse engineer the concept. Okay, we have basically figured out some lyrics for verse 1 and verse 2 and the chorus. We knew that we were targeting I do it for the love of strangers. And so we're trying to set it up with like, what do you do for the love of strangers? Well, we kind of landed on this idea of like kind of self-destruction, basically, is how I see it.
Burning our own house down.
Burning our own house down. So instead of like every line being different, we settled on actually each line compounding this idea of like
Yeah.
I'm the one that lights the fuse and fans the flames, and I burn my own house down. Why do I do it? For the love of strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
2, 3, 4.
Trying to please you, but I don't know you. I got a smile on 'cause I wanna show you that I care. I just hope you're there. I don't wanna leave you here in the darkness. I made it see you, but you see just how far I go. Only to please you. I light the fuse and fan the flame. I call the winds and curse the rain. I burn my house right to the ground. Do not fall in love of strangers. Caught in the headlight, can't even move my feet. These are the moments I say things I don't really mean. Covered in mud, but scrub myself clean. I like the fuse and fan the flame. I call the winds and curse the rains. I burn my house right to the ground. I do enough for the love of strangers. Yeah, I light the fuse and fan the flames. I call the winds and curse the rains. I burn my house right to the ground. I do it all for the love, yeah. I light the fuse and fan the flames. I call the winds and curse the rains. I burn my house right to the ground. I do it all for the love, oh yeah. I do it all for the love. I do it all for the love of strangers.
So, what have we learned from this whole process?
Well, firstly, it's really fun, is one
Super
thing I'll
fun.
say. Fun. I would say it also entered us into the songwriting process, for me at least, in a kind of genre and a feel and a style that is not at all my default, which is really good, you know? So instead of writing kind of like emo, Americana, kind of acoustic singer-songwriter stuff, it really got us into a really funky vibe very quickly, which is really fun.
And interestingly, even though we ended up playing it on guitar, because we are guitarists, and even though it started with kind of a little guitar riff, it wasn't a guitar riff that we came up with. And so it was still a new prompt. It was still a random input. And I just love
totally.
how fun that is.
Well, absolutely. And so one of the things that this is great for, and one of the reasons why I think it's great to start with a loop, and we have the benefit of writing it together, which is extra fun and lovely, but also it gives you kind of the feeling of collaborating with someone. It's like someone else's idea, and then you bring your own stuff to that, which is really fun, you know, and it's hard and kind of tedious and boring sometimes to always come up with everything yourself. And it's not anti-creative, it's very creative. You know, I feel really like fulfilled by this process.
And if you're looking to, you know, spark some creativity, get some inspiration, get yourself out of a rut, starting with a loop, starting with a prompt like this is just, I can't recommend it enough. It is so great.
One thing I will say is that this instrument by Landr Chromatic is really fun, really easy to use, really versatile, really low barrier to entry. And they sponsored this video, which means they actually gave us a discount code to give to you, which means you can use that code to sign up for it with a 30% discount, which is pretty sweet. So, you know, enjoy.
Happy songwriting.